Ace Podcast.
What's happening? Where am I? Who's in charge here?
I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.
The Black Rum Podcast presents The Mummy. Hey guys, it's Ryan from themoviesdeadworld.net. I'm joined with my co-host Martin.
How's it going?
And together we make up the Blood and Black Rum Podcast. We're back today with episode 71 of the show. So getting up there. Getting up to our 100th episode, also our 2-year anniversary. A lot of fun stuff ahead.
I won't hit the mark at the same time.
You want to hit it at the same time?
I said we won't.
No, yeah, we won't at the same time. No. We're going to be at our 2-year mark probably around 76 episodes or something like that. 75, 76 episodes. So, it's coming up pretty soon. July 5th. Yep. So, we got a special episode planned for that for RoboCop. The 2014 remake / reboot of the series. So that's coming up soon.
Is it a reboot if they're not going to do another one?
Yeah, it still is a reboot, I guess. I would say. But I guess we can talk about that on the show. But today we have a special episode that I was really excited about to cover because the movie itself was getting panned considerably by pretty much all reviewers, and pretty much any sort of media reception was very bleak for this film. So I was really interested to cover it. It's right up our alley because we love covering things like that. And obviously I'm talking about the Tom Cruise helmed thriller / horror film, The Mummy.
Oh, goody.
Yes. And you weren't excited about it to begin with.
No.
I
don't like giving Tom Cruise my money.
I mean, you kind of seem to have a unreasonable dislike of Tom Cruise. I mean, yeah, he's a piece of shit person probably, but I don't understand the entirety of your hate for him.
He's not a good actor.
I mean, I don't think he's I don't think he's a great actor in the sense like, yeah, we should pay him like $50 million a movie.
Well, that's what you're saying.
Things like that.
That's what you're saying when you go to these movies. So you're just like, here you go, Tom.
Well, I don't think that's the case for The Mummy.
Ruin Oprah's couch again.
I don't think that's the case for The Mummy. This was actually a pretty low-budget film considering...
Well, yeah, because that money all went to Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I don't know.
They couldn't get anyone else in here.
Well, I think the idea...
Except Russell Crowe, and he worked for a ham sandwich, because if you can tell, he's getting kind of portly these days.
Yeah, he kind of is, actually.
So...
I think that I don't really understand your hatred of Tom Cruise in so much that, like... He's not so bad in other films.
He's not totally over it. None of it, like, most of his films that people like herald is like, oh, they're great. They're not that good. Mission Impossible is okay, and that's mainly because it's a Brian De Palma film.
Well, yeah, and
Top Gun is totally overrated. It's garbage.
Yeah, I mean, some of those are definitely, you see Tom Cruise, again, kind of over the top, little,
I'm gonna blame him.
Shoddy.
I'm gonna blame him for the early 2000s downward spiral of Spielberg.
Yeah,
like Minority Report, and Tom Cruise was just starting to show up in his movies, and he's like, oh, come on.
I mean, I don't think that he's terrible. I don't think he's a great actor either. So I'll agree with you that he's overrated. But
because he shows so much range in this film.
Well, I think The Mummy's a whole nother beast, and we'll talk about that a little bit when we get further into it. But I think The Mummy is a whole other beast in general. But I mean, that's not the only reason why you weren't enthused with seeing The Mummy. Not just Tom Cruise, right? Or was it just Tom Cruise?
I just didn't really give a shit.
Didn't care about it. I mean,
after seeing it, I really don't care.
I think the biggest thing that I wanted to do with The Mummy is not only because it looked like garbage, and we love seeing hot garbage and covering it on the podcast because it's an easy show. It writes itself pretty much. I mean, we don't write any of our shows, but if we were to write the show, it would write itself. we just riff on the go and it works. We're just improvisational fanaticism.
Wow, you use your words, Mr.
Yes.
English major.
But the other reason that I really wanted to do The Mummy was because it's the start of Universal's Dark Universe.
Which
and
I didn't know
right
about.
Up our alley.
Well, I didn't know about it.
You didn't know about the Dark Universe.
Apparently, apparently nobody did, because they didn't start advertising for it until like a week before the film came out.
It was a very hastily drawn together advertising campaign for the Dark Universe. It's it's been in talks for a little while, but the actual advertising for it was really not well put together. It started really early. One of the major things about the Dark Universe that I think pissed a lot of people off was Universal's use of old classic monster films set to ridiculously over-the-top action movie superhero soundtrack music to make it a clusterfuck of, like, this does not go well together.
They should have had, like, Rob Zombie's Dracula playing in the background.
Yeah, something just completely, I mean...
Like, get ready, kids. Your 1930s chillers are getting a facelift.
I think that's the only way that it could have made that montage more ridiculous, is to put just some outrageously stupid, like Rammstein or something to it. Just like, you know what I mean?
9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, it's just something
Manson.
really stupid to it. Because the superhero action movie soundtrack that goes along with that montage and really does nothing to show you, like, hey, this is the Dark Universe. It's more of like, hey, look at all these cool films that we're going to destroy. You know, we're going to destroy those memories that you may have of checking them out in October, like on TCM when they used to play those for Halloween. No, you remember that stuff? Well, get ready to throw that in the garbage. We're going to obliterate that and do some stupid fucking action movies for them. And I think that was the whole scenario, the premise. Like, everybody was really pissed off. Even though I do think that their Dark Universe logo is kind of clever by doing like a reversal of the Universal logo. That's all that montage really did, was like show you like, hey, here's the Dark Universe logo. You don't know anything about it except that it has the original Universal monsters in it, but here's the logo. It's like a logo reveal. That's it.
I mean, it could be cool and, like, you know, it could be a good idea and concept. Like, all right, we're going to reboot the...
I totally think in concept it's a great idea, and I think a lot of horror fans would be down for that.
But they're not doing it right.
No, they're not doing it right at all. And that's the biggest thing, is that, like, no one is thinking, like, you know what would be really great to see with Frankenstein? If like, Frankenstein was kicking people's asses. Or, like, if, you know what I mean?
He's the Hulk now.
Or if the monster was, like, some evil villain, and Dr. Frankenstein was like, I need to vanquish him with my giant sword of smite, and just... No one wants to see that. We have Underworld.
You have Dr. Jekyll helming a squad of people who fight evil.
Yeah, I don't know why Universal was thinking, like, the fans are clamoring for this kind of
would have made
idea.
Would have made it even better, because Nickelodeon's under the umbrella of Universal still, right? Like with the whole Viacom and all that.
I don't know.
Well, because,
really.
you know, they used to shoot their shows.
No, they. I'm assuming so.
So if that's still the case, what they should have had, because Nickelodeon, SpongeBob, they should have had with this, like, have Russell Crowe spell out that they're fighting evil. It's an organization called Every Villain is Lemons.
Yeah,
because that's what they're doing essentially.
Basically, exactly. I think that the Dark Universe concept could have been a lot more than it is, even if they had just stuck to the whole, like, well, this is a regular horror movie, and they tend to be linked together somehow. Like, all the horror icons are in some way, they exist in the same universe. That's a cool concept. I'm down with that. I would have liked it if it was more of a traditional horror movie in that sense. But Universal did not go that route. They wanted to copy Marvel and DC Comics. They realized they had a franchise on their hands that
hasn't seen the light of day, and
essentially mimics the ideas of, like, what the comics are doing now, superheroes and multiverses and stuff like that. So they were like, hey, let's do it. Let's do basically a superhero film, but with classic horror monsters. And like I said, I don't think anybody was really thinking, like, that's what we're looking for. That's what we want. That's, you know, and to be honest with you, starting out with The Mummy is kind of a stupid idea anyway. Because...
Well, at the same time, you don't want to, like, blow your load on
You don't want to blow your load. You're right.
You don't want to start off with, like, Dracula or...
No, not some of the bigger concepts. But maybe even just starting out with Dr. As much as I will say that, in we'll get into that in the actual film review itself, as much as I will say that I do not want to see or need or have any sort of desire to watch Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde anymore, you may have wanted to start out with a Dr. Jekyll film, just to, like, because Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, not really a very popular franchise in itself anyway. I mean, it's been done quite a few times, but it's not something like Frankenstein or Dracula, where when you think of Universal Monsters, you think those concepts. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, not so much. So maybe start out with that. Give it a little origin story before you even get into some of the other characters that would be a part of that universe. But I don't think The Mummy is the right film to start out with. And I don't think that it was really necessary given the action-oriented Mummy film from 1999 with Brendan Fraser.
Classic.
Which is, loads better than this one to begin with. And
The 1999 Mummy is now a modern-day classic.
I guess, yeah. I
Compared to this, it's a fun Indiana Jones-style romp.
Yeah.
That is... absolutely delightful to watch.
True. I agree. I think that, like I was saying, The Mummy is not the film to start out with to give you... And we'll talk about... I don't think it does a very good job setting up the Dark Universe in itself anyway. Which I think we'll get into a little bit more in the film as we talk about some of most of the flaws of the film. The things that it really just doesn't get right. I think that's one of them. If you're talking, let's start the Dark Universe, not the way to go.
Well, it's going to go out with a whimper instead of a bang.
I think the conception is that the Dark Universe isn't over yet. Certainly was a bust on the first film, but I think that there's huge hopes for Bride of Frankenstein. Since it's pretty much already in production anyway, I think they'll go along with it. And like we said, The Mummy didn't have a huge, overloaded budget. It wasn't like a super, $100 million concept anyway. So I think that, they're probably going to recoup their losses for the foreign market and stuff like that. So it's not going to look like a loss.
Yeah, but even still, Terminator Genesis. I don't know why I keep mixing the two up, Genesis totally tanked, but did fucking amazing in China.
Right.
It's dead.
Well, but they are talking a potential new Terminator film. So it's not. I mean, that's the thing. And I think with this, there was a concept behind it. There was the idea that the Dark Universe was coming. So since Bride of Frankenstein is already in production, it's not going to kill the Dark Universe just yet. But if Bride of Frankenstein does poorly, and at this point, you've got to imagine it kind of will, I think that's it. I think that's it for the Dark Universe. 2 and out. If that one fails...
But maybe it's like DC and it'll take the third or fourth film for everyone to be like, genius.
Well, I think for this, at this point, Universal probably... First of all, it doesn't really feel like Universal has a lot of confidence in the Dark Universe to begin with. It's not pouring a huge amount of... It didn't pour a huge amount of money into The Mummy, for one thing. And it has a really strangely truncated schedule. Like, you would think if they were coming out with The Mummy in 2017, The Bride of Frankenstein would follow in 2018. Very early. Yeah, a close follow-up to The Mummy. But in this case, it's a February 2019 release date. And that seems way too far out. By that time, everybody's going to have forgotten about The Mummy. It's definitely not going to get a revival or a resurgence on home video. And at that, the Dark Universe is going to peter out. You're not going to hear about it for months on end. And then all of a sudden, hey, Bride of Frankenstein's out. Dark Universe again. We're back to that. And people are going to be like, what? So I really don't think that the scheduling for this is any good either, because they've really missed out on that opportunity to really, even if The Mummy didn't do very well, to follow up with a better film like Bride of Frankenstein, if it's a better film, and show like, okay, well, maybe the Dark Universe has something in it that we can get behind, rather than, maybe The Mummy was just a one-off flop and everything else is better from here. I don't think it shows a lot of confidence in the, this whole legacy that they're doing with the Dark Universe. So, but we're going to talk about The Mummy when we come back. And we're also going to talk about the beer that we're drinking today, which we had 2 different ones. So that'll be interesting. We're gonna combine them into one episode, which we don't normally do. We normally try to cover one at a time, but it'll be interesting. So stick with us. We'll be back with our beer talk, and we'll move right into The Mummy.
Breaking news. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's DK, and I'm the host of Vaguely Accurate, here to deliver you this breaking news story. Vaguely Accurate is the science show inoculating against misinformation. By now, I'm sure you've all heard of the term fake news. We are here combating this movement by delivering you real news from real researchers. Many are Australian, others are not. However, they all have this in common. They're telling you their story about their research in their own words. Vaguely Accurate is the science show with its ear on the ground. Join us and learn on the Ace Podcast Network, or check us out on vaguelyaccurate.com.
Welcome back. So we're talking about beer today, which we always are, pretty much. Even though we're named Black Rum Podcast, we have rarely had Black Rum on the podcast. I don't think we've ever had Black Rum on the podcast. Maybe once.
No, we haven't.
So, what do we got today? What'd you bring? Show and tell.
Yeah. So today I brought the long sought after, at least for us.
Yeah.
The Genesee Hellesbach.
That's right.
Part of their pilot batch program.
Yep. You had to go all the way down to Ilion to get that.
Yeah, I had to drive 45 miles to get it.
Which, for whatever reason, it's just not around here. Not available. Even though we get other Jenny Brewhouse pilot batch series beers, we don't get all of them. Like, we get some and not all. It's really strange. I don't know why some are like, yes, this area will totally love that one. And then the others are like, no, maybe not.
Well, I think like their staple ones are kind of more seasonal, like the winter warmer and salted caramel chocolate porter.
Yeah.
Now the orange honey cream ale.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're
those
the
staples.
brew house version of a seasonal beer. Yeah, that could be.
Whereas, like, like they've had an alt beer, which hasn't been out around here.
Yep.
The Smash, which is their single malt, single hop ale, wasn't around
which
here.
I would really like to get my hands on.
Yeah, I would too. But yeah, just some of them just haven't made their way around here. But we have been meaning to try the Hellesbach. So I got it. I finally got it.
And this isn't like the first Bock that they've done, because Jenny makes their own Jenny Bock.
Yep.
And then the pilot batch
comes
also
out in late January to
like
March.
It's like almost like a spring or like a late winter beer. And then they also make for the Brewhouse pilot batch series, they make a double Bock. And as we've done on the podcast before, and with the double Bock, you may remember, it was quite raisiny.
And so we both didn't really care for that.
I mean, it was okay. I can stomach raisiny style beers.
I cannot.
But yeah, it was a difficult drink just because of all that raisin flavor to it.
I don't like my beer to taste like dried fruit.
I think that was a big issue with the winter warmer too.
Yeah.
Was that it had a huge raisin flavor, and we'd like Jenny to try to cut that out, please. Luckily, with the Hellesbach, there's no raisin flavor in it, as there should not be.
Yeah.
Because it's a summer-style beer.
Though, the bottle has that dark red raisiny color to it, like the Double Bock did. Though the Double Bock was like that raisin color and like a silver, and this one's like a raisin color and gold for like, Helles.
Yeah,
and even still, just looking at the bottle, kind of like, it just gave me like...
Yeah. The beer itself is probably like a nice blonde color, because I didn't actually pour it out myself, but I'm assuming
it says on the
that it's about a blondish,
it says on the bottle,
brown color, and which makes sense with the Helles style. And this is basically combining the two styles, Helles and Bock, together. And It sort of works. I mean, I think that it's a weird combination in itself because, especially when you're talking like an actual Bock, because Jenny's Bock, the regular style that they bring out every January, February, is not really a Bock. It's it's a very light style that's pretty much more akin to their cream ale than it is to like an actual Bock. It definitely has a nice Bock flavor to it, but
I would say their Bock's more of like an amber lager.
Yeah, it's a very, very light Bock beer.
But I love it because of that.
Because it's very light. It's easy to drink, and, it makes sense moving into spring, and you're kind of getting into the lighter, not so...
But yet malty. Still have, a nice malty body.
Yeah. I think with this Bock, it's definitely on the heavier side, much breadier.
It's pretty bready.
As the label suggests, it does say on it that it has a bready malt flavor to it, and I would agree, and you actually think that the breadiness of it is a little bit too much, I think.
For like a late spring, which I think it's supposed to be like late spring beer. So
yeah, because I think when we get into like summer, it's more the orange honey is the beer itself.
But even still, I think it's still kind of too bready for my liking. Mm-hmm. And not like a sense of like a malty. It's like it literally tastes like like a grainy bread, and then with a very light hop finish at the end. I would care for it to be, and I've bitched several times on the podcast how I'm sick, of IPAs and all that. But I would in this kind of like a hoppier presence to balance it out, to kind of give it a dual characteristic. But I think the fact that it's kind of overwhelming on the bready side, and the malt characteristic is kind of what makes me kind of go, it's okay. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like it. I literally just think it's all right. I wouldn't probably never go out of my way to get it again.
Yeah, I mean, for my experience with like the Helles style, it's a lot lighter and less bready than what we're getting with this Helles Bock. And I think the Bock itself overpowers the Helles style in this beer anyway. I don't really know how much this beer really tastes like a Helles style at all. It gets a little bit into like the lighter blonde hoppy style like towards the back end of the beer, but I think most of it is pretty much straight Bock and very heavy. It's a 7.0 ABV.
Only 27 IBUs.
Yep, 27 IBUs. So and like we said, it's probably more of a spring beer than it is a summer beer. And we're just getting to it late because it's not around us. So This is the first time we've had to get it. But I think, now, today was mid 80s, early, almost 90 degree day. It was a little too heavy for the day itself. Yeah, for the weather. I mean, that's not to say that I did not enjoy it, because I do like the Helles Bock, but I don't think it's one of their better brewhouse beers. I think that, like I said, the Bock kind of overpowers the Helles, and at this point I'm looking for something a little bit lighter than what it offers. So, I mean, I would check it out if it was around. If they had it on tap or something, give it a go. But pick up a 4-pack, and the 4-packs can be kind of pricey.
It's $10.
So, I don't know if I would recommend that. Give it a shot if it's on tap at some place. But, don't get 4 for yourself and then find out you don't like it.
Especially if you don't like really bready beers.
Yeah. Yep. The other beer that we have for today is kind of a classic. Not in an American sense, but in a Czech sense. Because it's the Pilsner Urquell. Now, I have only experienced this a little bit. World of Beer used to have it on tap. It was kind of a staple of their on tap. It never was really a rotating thing. It was kind of always there. They always had it as like sort of a house beer almost. And you got it in a huge mug, which is one of the reasons why I ordered it to begin with. But it's actually a very, very drinkable Pilsner. And I like it quite a bit. I think it's a little bit on the bitter side. And I think it's very drinkable, pretty crisp for a warm day. And it goes down easy, for sure. I had 3 of them on the boat. when I was out this weekend and didn't feel a thing, for one thing, because they're super drinkable and I think pretty light on an ABV.
4.4.
Yeah, 4.4%. And they just taste really good on a hot day. Now, is this your first time having a Pilsner Urquell? Yeah.
It's always been something I've been meaning to try, but I haven't really convinced myself worth,
Going out of your way to get it.
Dropping $18 on it.
And I don't know if I've ever seen it really in stores around here. No, have you seen it?
Yeah,
before?
They have it at Hannaford Price Shop.
I mean, I saw it in Hannaford now because I picked up the.
No, they've
always
on
sale.
No, they've always had it.
Yeah,
it's that price point that's made you block it out.
That's true.
Like I said, it's like Heineken. It's like 18.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive because it's imported, and you also don't get a full 12 because it's not an American beer. Yeah, it's 11.2.
But yeah, it's my first time having it, and I like it, quite a bit. I like it, and this is something with kind of a lot of European beers I kind of have grown to appreciate more over the years, like a Heineken, which I used to not, I think was it's alright, but I've kind of grown to like more as a drinkable beer, and same thing with Beck's. Not as much to the extent.
Beck's has changed now, so it's kind of a little bit different than it was before. But...
I know, but I mean, I'm not even saying as much, but I mean, the fact that compared to an American Pilsner, this has it's not just it's a light malty beer, and
right?
Crisp and refreshing. You do get you can taste the hop, and that's what I like about it. That's that's great. You can actually taste all the ingredients that make beer in it. It's the same thing with Heineken. One of the reasons why I've grown to like Heineken quite a bit, especially Heineken Light, is because just how you can taste it. It's okay, it's a lager, but then there's just nice hop crispness to it that you will not get in an American light or American style lager for the most part. That's macro brew. So I quite enjoy it. I do think, though we know Heineken's not lager. I mean, not a Pilsner, it's a lager.
Right.
I do think I would go with a Heineken, though, over this. Though I do enjoy this quite a bit. I think, for me, when it comes to, if I had to choose, a Euro beer to be my drink of choice, it'd be Heineken Light. But this would be probably a close second.
Yeah, I like Pilsner Urquell quite a bit. And I definitely would encourage anybody who is kind of either disappointed or bored with regular American Pilsners to check it out, because it's a very good...
You'll be shocked.
Beer.
You'll be shocked at the difference between this and Miller Lite.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like it quite a bit. I might make it something to kind of, if I'm feeling footloose and fancy free, money's not an object today.
Yeah.
Give this a go.
And the reason that I got it was because it was a good sale for it, which I've never really seen at the store before. So it was a bargain deal.
Now I just gotta
had to get it.
Just gotta try Carlsberg.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really actually interested because they have a 4-pack of the different different Urquell beers that you could get. And I'm interested because this is the only one I've ever had. So I want to get that. It's kind of they're tall boys, but it's still kind of on the expensive side for 4 beers. So I kind of have to be adventurous one time and be like, well, let's try that. Because not only is it, expensive, but then you've only got 4 beers to go through. And it doesn't last long. So it's an investment, I guess, I would say. Other than that, have you had anything else that you want to talk about?
Yes, we've had one other.
Well, we've had a few others, but the one that's notable to bring up on the...
That definitely deserves a shout out and a high five and a tip, as Stephen Colbert would say, tip of the hat.
Yeah.
So we had... couple days ago too, when we went to one of our local gastropubs, the only local gastropub really, they had on tap Southern Tier's Lemon Drop.
Yep.
Very good. That is a great summer ale. That might be my favorite summer ale that's out there. Very Yeah.
Very easily drinkable. It melds really well together. Just the lightness of the beer.
It's light. It's not overly weedy for a wheat ale, so it's not it's not bready essentially. Mm-hmm. And then the lemon citrus is strong, but it's not overpowering.
And it's not a shandy either.
So you get I think they totally get the style perfectly. Like,
Yeah.
Whereas like a Sam Adams Summer Ale, it's too light on the citrus. You don't really get enough of it, and it's it's really just like it's a wheat ale. And Brooklyn Summer Ale, which is better, is still kind of like the balance is still kind of off. But I mean, to me, the Southern Tier Lemon Drop is by far the best summer ale I've ever had.
And it was the best one that we had at the pub too.
Yeah.
Very good. I mean, the other stuff that we had wouldn't really go out of my way to mention on here right now. Maybe we'll cover it at a different time. But the lemon drop was by far the best thing that we had that night.
Yeah.
Very good. So check that out. It should be pretty much around everywhere, I would think.
I'm hoping it's around here somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure it's around here somewhere. In maybe a 6-pack, or they may even have like a Southern Tier summer pack.
Just imagine if they had like a 15-pack of cans of that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
I'm gonna have to call them up and be like,
I know.
Do you do this?
Yeah.
Do it. You should do it.
And New Belgium also has a summer 15-pack that I really
I
wanna
did
get.
see. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
It's not that's not the Day Blazer.
Yeah, that may be the next one that I get. So, check it out.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, we're gonna take a break and we'll come back and we're gonna get right into and get under the bandages of the mummy.
I'm gonna go on an embalmment.
That's right. That's right.
It's two middle-aged dudes and a microphone.
Hey there, this is Aaron.
And this is Craig. We are Two Middle-Aged Dudes and a Microphone, the podcast that brings you the best in weird news twice a week.
We report the stories you just won't find on your local news, and we do our own research to make sure that all the stories we report are true.
Two Middle-Aged Dudes and a Microphone.
Always family-friendly, always fun.
All right, so the mummy. Where do we start with the mummy? Where to begin? I think that's the hardest part. Because there's so much to talk about with what the mummy doesn't do right.
Would you like to start with what they do right?
I guess we can. Some things that do go well.
I only have one note.
All right, go for it.
One note of positivity.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe.
What are you saying is the positive about Russell Crowe?
That he actually...
He has a job? Is that the positive?
That he's still getting work.
Okay, all right.
Despite, falling on hard times.
Yeah.
Physically, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, poor Russell Crowe. He's going to be listening to this and be put down the donut and I've let myself go.
No, I mean, look. I know you have qualms with his portrayal of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
More so Mr. Hyde than Dr. Jekyll.
But I will say, I think he does a good job. He may at least acting like he's vested in what he's doing.
Well, he ought to be because he's the only real link to the rest of the Dark Universe in the Mummy.
No,
so,
Tom Cruise is.
Well, yeah, I guess. But I mean...
If that ending doesn't say he's coming back someday, then...
It does, but I'm thinking that, over the course of... As we keep doing these, one-offs... The Mummy and then Bride of Frankenstein. He's the tenuous connection to the Dark Universe until we get to a Justice League style or League of Extraordinary Gentlemen style meetup and stuff like that. So I think he ought to feel invested.
No, so yeah, I understand why he wouldn't and probably should. But I think he's actually, he's not cringeworthy in this. Mm-hmm. He's actually engaging and pretty entertaining, I think.
Well, like I said, I think he's better as Dr. Jekyll. I think the Mr. Hyde character itself...
I didn't really give a shit about the whole Mr. Hyde thing. In fact, I don't even think they had to, you didn't have to show that yet.
No, I think they could have
gotten
totally
away held off
with just
that.
showing him do an injection.
To
say, oh... Apparently he's already,
contaminated by evil.
Exactly.
So no, I'm not blaming him for that because that's the fucking screenwriter's fault.
Yeah, he has no control.
So, but I think as Dr. Stephen Jekyll, he's quite fine. Though I don't like the role they're essentially giving Dr. Jekyll as being fucking Nick Fury. I'm here to assemble a crack squad, that's gonna fight evil. I think that's totally fucking stupid. But again, looking at the positive right now, I think with the turd that he's given with,
he does the best that he can.
He makes it not that
I agree.
he makes that not so like it's not pushing up against the hemorrhoid too hard. It's
no.
you're gonna bleed a little from this.
No, I agree.
But it's not as bad as it could be.
I mean, who would have thought that Gladiator Russell Crowe would very quickly become portly British guy who leads a team?
You got to remember, it's like Gladiator's like 25 years ago.
I know, but at the same time,
to make you feel
we're talking Tom Cruise though too, and Tom Cruise is fucking old, but he's still
because they made sure to digitally fix him up.
Yeah, but you could digitally fix up, but he's still in fairly good condition, probably better shape than I am. So I got to give him credit for that, and I think
all the Xenu or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, his Scientology. Mm-hmm. Well, I think, like I said though, I think with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I think Russell Crowe does a pretty good job, especially with Dr. Jekyll. He's doing really. I think he's like shouldering most of the work here, in terms of, hey, this is a dark universe that we're trying to create within the Mummy, and he's doing most of the work with that. With that said, like you said, I don't think we really need the Mr. Hyde part of it. I think that it's very unnecessary. It's kind of almost like if we're talking DC Comics films, Doomsday-esque, in that, we're adding another sort of villain here within the film that has nothing to do with the other villain, just because we want to show that this is connected.
Now, my main complaint...
We're not getting complaints yet.
Well, I want to just kind of bounce this off
all right,
because it's on the topic of Dr. Jekyll. Mm-hmm. My main complaint with this, though, is if his whole idea is him to be this leader of this elite squad that's trying to take out supernatural evil in the world, why is he not Van Helsing?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because Van Helsing... He doesn't have like an alter dark ego or anything. He's just a monster slayer.
I'm assuming that...
So why the hell is he not the guy leading this?
I'm assuming that what we're supposed to get from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in this scenario is that because he is ultimately always fighting against evil with himself, he's the guy who notices like, shit, we should do something about this. Right, no, but I think that in their minds, in Alex Kurtzman's mind, who is one of the leads on writing or like coming up with the Dark Universe storyline, I think in their mind they're seeing the juxtaposition between, well, this guy's generally good, but he's also got that, it's almost like a Two-Face thing.
Yeah, but you could do that with, you can just change Van Helsing up to be like, he's not just like, because he's in, like, the original movies, he is one-dimensional. He's just a man who slays monsters and in the name of God. You can just make it so, like, give him, like, a darker past, like, and, like, so he has, like, maybe a conflicting backstory that where, characters that are supposed to be joining the squad could be like, well, maybe, you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and maybe you're not right. It's not hard to, like, fucking, like, write a scenario to make it make sense.
I mean, you don't need to tell me that. I don't think that it really works either, but you need to call up Alex Kurtzman and be like, what's the deal with that?
Was he like, you know what, and God damn it, in the Hammer horror films, Peter Cushing is so iconic as Van Helsing, we just can't bring ourselves to recast
Well, they haven't casted a Van Helsing yet. We don't really know who that would be.
Maybe now they shouldn't, because they'll never beat Peter Cushing.
I mean,
same thing with Dracula. Don't even bother, Universal. Christopher Lee's dead now. Can't bring him back. Oh, well.
Well, I mean, I think that the idea for a Van Helsing probably... I don't know if they have anybody in mind. I don't know if they're going to try to stick with the older Van Helsing film that came out in like, what is it, in the 90s or 2000? I can't remember at this time.
2000s, like 2003.
And maybe they're going to try that. I really don't know. I don't know what their plans are.
Wasn't that Hugh Jackman?
It was Hugh Jackman. But I don't know, like, exactly what they're doing because... some things seem to match up with older films in the style. Like, they're obviously doing Bride of Frankenstein first because they just did a lot of other... They did Victor Frankenstein. They did I, Frankenstein previously. They've gone to that well before.
Yeah, and but were those Universal films?
They were, yeah.
Oh, but I mean... I didn't see them. So
yeah, right, exactly. And I, Frankenstein is basically the precursor to The Mummy. It's a fucking action film that has horror guys in it. Van Helsing, same thing. Action film with horror people in it.
Yeah, but that makes more sense. Van Helsing, though, you can see
it can be a horror film with action in it. Yeah, it does make sense.
That makes more sense, because, again, he's a monster.
Was it good? No.
I only saw it once on, like, FX, and I don't remember it, but... But Van Helsing, though, the idea itself, it doesn't have to be a pure horror thing. That totally makes sense. That would jive in the realm of being in horror, action, comedy. You could take any route of those routes, and it would totally kind of mesh just with, like, the idea of it.
True. All right. Because we're getting into negative territory again, so we're trying to stay positive first.
Well, like I said, Russell Crowe is
the only one for you. Number one on the list of positives, Russell Crowe's okay. He's pretty good.
It's not even like he was great, because he's not great in this. Again, it's not like you're not getting Russell Crowe from, like, Master and Commander. Right?
Yeah.
You're getting... I'm getting a paycheck.
All right, I got a couple more positives. Number 2, the horror scenes do sometimes work okay. That doesn't sound very promising, but at the same time, I do think that they did a fairly good job with whatever it is, the CGI that they do with the zombie-esque.
That's like a flaw
people.
To me. Because the mummies that help
right.
the mummy, they're not even like it's not. It's like
they're zombies
essentially. Yeah. So it's like, why don't you just make a fucking zombie film then?
That doesn't bother me so much because
it does to me. Because at some points it looks like, oh look, you saw 28 Days Later, and you took notes like, oh,
I agree.
The zombies ran and jumped through like a truck window. Ooh.
I agree. There's an issue that we'll bring up later in terms of mummies, but at this point, I do think that horror aspect works well in the beginning of the film. Not so much like the whole Tom Cruise's character sees a dead guy all the time. We can talk about that later because that's part of the negatives. But in this, like in some of the horror scenes that actually occur where there are random scenes of people being killed off by the zombies, I think it works pretty well. There's some tension to it. Alex Kurtzman, as the director, certainly knows something about creating horror films and horror TV shows. He's one of the minds behind the TV show Sleepy Hollow, which in many cases the Mummy resembles that quite a bit. Wherein I think that a television show mostly focused on action horror works a lot better than a movie, but that's just my feelings on it. But I think that Alex Kurtzman, he does have some ideas on how to make things scary. I just wish they would have done that a little bit more within the Mummy in going a more simplistic horror route than what they end up doing, which is just basically action piece after action piece. We'll talk about that a little bit later too, because that's another negative. So that's my second one, is that sometimes the horror is a little bit effective.
I wouldn't.
I know you don't feel the same way. You also went to the bathroom during one of the scenes, so you missed it.
No, I was back in time for it.
My third and I think final positive is that there's eye candy, because Sophia Boutella, who plays Amunet, the main mummy, the mummy priestess lady, as we'll call her, is surprisingly not clothed for some of the film. And this is a PG-13 movie. They're kind of getting away with that in terms of like shadowy butts and profile boobs. You know what I mean? So there's eye candy there. And also Annabelle Wallis as Jenny Halsey. I could watch her in another Dark Universe film. I'd be fine with that, because I think she's pretty. But other than that, that's all the positives I got. We got 3.
Yeah, well...
You can't think of anything more, right?
No, those...
And I can't really think of anything more.
I would strike those 2. I would...
They don't even do it for you. So you've got 1 positive.
No.
And 99 negatives. All right.
And Sophia Boutella is not a positive, and neither is Annabelle
Wallis.
All
right. Take it away. All right. The negatives of the Mummy.
All right.
This is going to be the next 45 to 60 minutes, so settle in, I guess I would say.
Let me just start by saying this. I can say I've never walked out on a film.
I have not either. And I probably wouldn't.
No, and I wouldn't either on the principle, especially nowadays with movies almost costing $10, which I know some people are probably like, $10? Are you kidding me? Because if you live in the city, it's like
more expensive. It's
hell
like
of a lot
14.
more. Yeah, hell of a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
But it is cheap around here.
Yeah.
Even still. On principle, no matter how bad a film is, I can't bring myself to walk out.
Gotta finish it.
Because I fucking wasted the money on it.
I'm a completionist.
Yeah,
so
and I'm a
I'm gonna watch it.
and I'm a completionist. Like goddamn, I force myself to watch, Code Geass. And Gundam Seed. I'll force myself to sit through this fucking piece of trash. But there is a list. I do have a list of movies that I've come close to. Like I'm gonna walk out of this. Mm-hmm. Epic movie is one of them. The original Fantastic Four from 20th Century Fox. Almost walked out on.
Most of these are ones that I picked, so...
Yeah. The remake of RoboCop. Very close to walking out on.
Yeah.
The Mummy? I would, if I wasn't such a stat, I would walk out on this movie. It is that bad. This movie is a dull, boring, miserably paced, fucking film school edited hack job of a film. It is absolutely miserable to sit through this.
I think the...
Oh, by the way, Suicide Squad's another movie I almost would have walked out on too. But no, one of the main problems I have with this film is editing. Because of the pacing. This film is literally 90% just shit is happening and there's no time to like even breathe or kind of get bearing or a sense of what's going on. Something happens and before you know it, something else fucking happens. It's literally a Call of Duty video game in story mode.
Well, I think you get that right off the bat from the first scenes because...
The first act is literally nothing more... Like, again, it's literally just like exposition to kind of tell like who are our main character and his friend. Oh, they're part of the army and they're buddies, but they're also treasure thieves. They sell antiquities on the black market because who fucking sells antiquities on the black market and says we sell antiquities on the black market? How many people even know what the word antiquities means?
Why would the army be okay with it?
They're not. That's why they're...
Well, yeah, but I mean, technically they are. They're fucking enlisting their helicopter to take a sarcophagus out of a war-stricken area.
Well, because they called for the Hellfire Strike.
Well, yeah, I know, but at the same time, they're pretty much still culpable for what happens, and it doesn't make sense.
And then because it doesn't make sense because the colonel doesn't... The colonel doesn't punish them.
The colonel's Courtney B. Vance, by the way.
That is a positive, because he's got such a minor part in the role. Courtney B. Vance as, generic colonel.
Is a positive, except the negative is that they waste him. In, within 10 minutes flat, he's gone. Done. Gets pretty high billing, and he's done. So, that's I just wanted to throw that in there before we, go on to this. But yeah, I mean, that opening sequence... is like almost which Bond film did we see? Was it Spectre that starts out with like the buildings exploding where he's running on rooftops, or was it the one before that? Not Casino Royale, because that's pretty good, but it was like either Spectre or the one before that, or
if there's a helicopter and stuff.
Yeah.
No, that's Spectre.
Spectre,
because in Skyfall, that's the whole Bond gets shot and falls off the train by, Moneypenny and,
Yeah, it's Spectre then.
Yeah.
That is, it's almost like that same level of, and we didn't like it in Spectre, and it's a hell of a lot worse than The Mummy, wherein just shit is exploding. It's almost like a video game aspect to it, like where not only does it make... I mean, it doesn't really seem like Iraq, for one thing, because we're set in Iraq for whatever reason, even though mummies are fucking Egyptian.
Well, no, that's the whole premise, is because... This bitch was such a bitch. They had to drag her ass all the way from Egypt to fucking Mesopotamia to bury her in the hope, oh, no one out here is going to find it. And after you get that intro of, like, Mesopotamia, the cradle of life, then like, by the way, it's modern-day Iraq, and so, here's some ISIS guys, just shooting random shit, because fuck ISIS, that's, the whole bit, that's the big, Bush thing. And so...
It makes war look stupid, for one thing, because it's like a paintball game.
Well, not only that, because again, it's like they took bits of 1999's Mummy,
right?
Which is essentially which is not a horror film. It's literally like, let's make a modern day Indiana Jones, and I think it does. I think the Mummy actually works. The 1999 one, though, I mean, some people, your mileage on it may vary, because I think Brendan Fraser. I think he's a good actor, and I think he's
goofy in all the right ways.
Yeah,
so
and
it's intentionally.
He's a likable, roguish scamp. Rachel Weisz, she's nice eye candy, and she does a good job. And whoever plays the brother Jonathan, I can't remember. He's the fun, bastardly scamp.
Yeah.
But and so in this, Tom Cruise's character is supposed to be like Brendan Fraser.
I guess,
the lovable rogue scamp, that's, does bad things, but you root for him because he's, gosh darn it, even though he's kind of an asshole and a bastard, he's got a heart of gold. Tom Cruise doesn't pull that off at all. His friend is just generic friend.
Yeah, that's Jake Johnson.
Yeah,
who's in New Girl, and
he looks like he's like low rent John Leguizamo.
And the thing with that, too, is that Jake Johnson is generally pretty funny.
Especially in his zombie makeup. He looks like they got, like, okay, we wasted all our money getting Tom Cruise. We were able to buy off Russell Crowe with a ham sandwich and a couple $1 million. Who are we going to get for the friend? Let's get John Leguizamo. We had not enough money in the budget. Okay. Well, let's get somebody who looks like John Leguizamo. Especially in zombie makeup. And kind of has that same accent. And then, ta-da!
I like Jake Johnson. I think he's a good comic relief in most things. I think he's pretty good at what he does, which is more of that, like, wry sense of humor. And
it's not wry in this.
No, I know. And I think that the writing is just pretty bad for his character.
The writing in this film.
It sucks all around.
And we'll get more into that. We're going to get, we're like hitting.
Yeah, we're hitting like all different things.
12 different tangents.
But I think like with that one, with Jake Johnson's character, it's straight out of someone watched An American Werewolf in London and they're like, what would be really good in The Mummy? If we had like some dead character just following our main character too. And what does he do? He just gives off random shit exposition all the time.
And that makes goofy faces.
Yeah. Because that's all that Jake Johnson's character really gets to do is in the first part, be like a parrot that's like in Aladdin, following Aladdin around, being like, this is dangerous! What the fuck? You know what I mean? And
this film would be 1 billion times better if Gilbert Gottfried was in it.
Yeah. And not only that, that's all he gets to do, and then he's also gets to follow Nick around, Tom Cruise's character, around as a dead guy, and in that sense, we don't know, is he good, is he bad, sometimes he seems good, sometimes he seems bad, is he trying to help Nick, we don't know, he doesn't know, and then, like...
I think it's pretty clear, no, he's not helping him, because he's cursed, and he wants to not be cursed anymore, so he's telling Tom Cruise, hey, buddy, you gotta do this shit and become,
I don't think it is clear, though.
You gotta become the god. That way I'll be free, you'll be free, she'll get what she wants.
I don't know if it is clear. I think that's a problem in itself, is that it's not clear what
I think it's not made clear by the fact...
his intention is or why he's there.
I think I mean, you're right. There's no point in him even being there.
There's nothing there.
Because the Mummy has mental influence over Tom Cruise. Yeah. So you don't need him to be like, hey, buddy, come, no, you want to come this way, Even, so, he's totally pussed. But getting back to the whole first scene, it's like, okay, it's like an Indiana Jones thing where, but instead of being like, archaeologists, we're thieves and like, oh, come on, let's do this. No, it's dangerous. And like, oh, no, really, let's do it. What could possibly go wrong? Then it cuts to bullets firing at them and they're like running away like, oh, God, this is scary. Things are going wrong. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
What a crazy situation. And then they're just like running away, randomly firing guns. It's like, a fucking platoon of ISIS is shooting at them. They're just like, oh no, we're gonna call for a Hellfire missile. Don't call for air support. I'm gonna call for it.
Well, it's kind of the same. It's like Indiana Jones in that you have Indiana Jones who really knows what he's doing, and you have Indiana Jones' partner who doesn't really know what they're doing, or they're kind of like the weak person. Like I don't want to say weak in a sense, but in general in Indiana Jones films, it's a woman, right? It's a woman or a kid.
Unless it's King of the Crystal Skull and it's his old friend that's the double triple agent. That's
but we're not talking about Crystal Skull because that sucks. But in general, it's a woman or like a kid or some weak person who he's got to save. In that sense, the Mummy plays out like that. It plays out in almost like the Mummy in 1999. But at the same time, the whole situation, the whole tone does not mimic like what it's supposed to be portraying. In that, like, we're not supposed to be feeling like this is like a goofy scenario or like things are just...
Well, no, that's what they're going for. But you're not like, oh, what, those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have known better,
No, because it actually, the way that it's directed, it kind of seems like we're supposed to be pretty nervous for them. Like, we're nervous that... In Indiana Jones films, are you really ever nervous for Indiana Jones? Like, he's never going to make it out. No, you're like... Oh, this is a cool adventure, and you know that he's going to make it, but you want to see the inventiveness and how he does it. In this case, I pretty much just wanted both of them to take a bullet right there.
Movie over.
Yeah, movie over. That's it. Did they unearth the mummy? Nope, they didn't. Oh, man, that sucks. The end. But yeah, I don't think, like, even that beginning scenario, with a film like this, you want to draw people in, like, right away. It doesn't do that.
And you know what? This is almost like they took it from the 1999 Mummy too, where Brendan Fraser and his weasel friend, part of the French Foreign Legion, and like all of a sudden like a whole army attacks, and that's how Brendan Fraser gets caught. And
yeah, and it's almost like that, but just not that good, not that good. And the bigger problem is it just doesn't get better. At least if like that opening scene was bad, you may be like, well, maybe give it some time. Maybe it'll get better, but it doesn't. And the thing with it is this film throws out so many fucking stupid things at you in a short amount of time. Hey, we're in Egypt. This shit's happening. Hey, they transported her to fucking Iraq. Hey, actually, now we're in England. And we've got Knights Templar for whatever reason. That's the first part of it.
That's the very opening.
And I said when I like whispered to you, because unfortunately when we were in our theater, we thought we were going to be alone. It was like, what was it, Wednesday? No, it was a Sunday night. We're like, oh yes, we're going to be alone. There's no one there. And then one goddamn person comes in.
Yeah, 5 minutes before the movie starts. One old guy.
One man comes in, sits alone by himself. Kind of felt bad. We probably should have gone over there and talked to him and be like, do you like riffing on movies? Because we do too. He didn't seem like the riffing type. He seemed pretty intent on watching it, without interruption.
As soon as the credits hit, too, he stood up, kind of nodded.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
And laughed.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to watch people like that. But but I whispered to Martin. I said when the first scene arrived and it said England, I was like, because when you think of a mummy movie, you think the first setting you think is England. Oh yes, England, unearthing a tomb in England.
You got Assassin's Creed in the Mummy. You got my mummy in these.
Yes. No, and the thing with this is, there are so many settings that you're thrown into that shit just stops making sense at that point. Because you kind of have to go with the flow or else you're just going to get lost. Because first we're in England. You're right, first we're in England. Then we're in Egypt. Then we're in Iraq. Then we're back to England. It's just so many locales for no reason whatsoever.
Well, so you got, they're like, in a sense, trying to be like Indiana Jones or like a Bond film, like globetrotting, like.
Yeah, but at the same time, why?
They should have had like while they're on like the C-130, like trying to fly to England, like have like the old timey like map and like the plane like flying with like the red line, like
yeah. Well, but why? That would have been perfect and way out of place in this film. But why specifically did we need to be in Iraq or Mesopotamia?
Because of ISIS!
It doesn't make any lick of sense. It's not necessary.
Because you need ISIS because
You gotta be contemporary and topical.
Because they're part of the military. So the military, where would they?
Why can't the military be in Egypt? So, I'm sure there is a military band in Egypt. They got their fucking problems too.
I was gonna say we do have a military.
Yeah,
we
so
have a military base.
Why couldn't it just all have been in Egypt? That's a huge thing with this because we're globetrotting and nothing is then making sense between them. We don't need all that unnecessary filler of like, well, Tom Cruise with...
You don't even need him to be in the military.
No.
You can just have him be...
an antiquities dealer.
Yeah.
And like going all over the place. And because that's probably what he does. I mean, what does he need the...
Well, because Indiana Jones was, he's not only he's an archaeologist and a teacher. Part-time.
In this, everything about this doesn't make sense. From where we are to Tom Cruise's character. I keep saying that because I feel like people won't know the names of the people in the film. So Tom Cruise's character, why Tom Cruise's character and Annabelle Wallis's character work together doesn't make any sense either. Because
they just fucked.
They fucked and they were like, well, we want an awkward situation. Basically, that's
because he stole the map from her.
Right.
And then so she tracks him down.
And they decide...
And this is 2017, damn it, she's not afraid to say that she slept with Tom Cruise.
It was a one-night stand. She's very unhappy about it.
And she's Ms.
And it was only 15 seconds long.
Yeah. He was, she was giving the whole stereotypical, you faked 15 seconds of emotion.
Yeah.
And then you got him going, what? Huh? What? What do you mean? What do you mean? I think it's... no? Huh? No?
Yeah.
I think it was... No?
I think that...
That's how he went through his first divorce.
I don't really find that there's much point in having Tom Cruise and Annabelle Wallis together for most of the film. I think it's shoehorned in there so that he has a relationship and that there's like some human aspect to Nick.
Redemption.
Because for the really big issue with The Mummy, besides the fact that it sucks in general... is that no character has a backstory, has development, has any sort of like emotional attachment to the viewer. So when you first meet Nick, you don't really like him. He's kind of an asshole scamp, and like in general, those types of characters are supposed to be like, well, he's kind of an asshole, but I like him because he's got wit, he's got charm.
He's got moxie.
This is partially writing. It's partially Tom Cruise not being right for the role, but it just doesn't work for this character. You don't know anything about him, and you don't care about him. And the same for Annabelle Wallis's character, Jenny Halsey. You don't know anything besides what she does for work, and that she has one-night stands occasionally with men that are 25 to 30 years older than her. And that's it. That's all you know about them. So for the film to try to like push this relationship on the viewer that's told over time through like when they're in danger, there's no stakes to it because it's like the traditional hero gets the girl for no reason other than the fact that she's like, woo, you saved me. It's like saving the princess sort of thing. It's like Mario did it better and that has no fucking story. It's just Mario jumping on mushrooms. There's not, you know what I mean? There's no stakes to it. At least in Mario, you're like, sometimes he gets bigger. He's got a brother. He's got a better backstory than Nick. I don't know. I just think that that's a huge issue in The Mummy is that we're expected...
You should play the Paper Mario games. They have story.
They have story. Yes, that's right.
It's an RPG.
But in The Mummy, we're expected to like be very moved at the end of the film by Tom Cruise's character's redemption, his commitment to doing things even though it's not selfish, it's unselfless really, and it's selfless. Not unselfless, it's selfless, and how much he's dedicated to saving Annabelle Wallis's character, and it's stupid. It doesn't make much sense, and I don't think anybody's really invested in it. And part of that is the writing for sure. But a large part of it, too, is just that Tom Cruise is not good in this film at all.
Well, outside of Russell Crowe and Courtney B. Vance,
no one really is.
Nobody is.
But Tom Cruise really shines because it almost feels like No one gave him a script, and he's just going along with it. Which makes sense to me because the film barely makes sense to the viewer. So
and he's Tom Cruise. Who's gonna direct? Unless you're Scorsese,
Yeah.
which Scorsese has enough sense not to fucking cast Tom Cruise, or like Wes Anderson again has enough sense not to like cast Tom Cruise or Spielberg. Unless it's like somebody like who's like a top flight director, who's like it's top like even like someone like J.J. Abrams, like if he casted Tom Cruise, I can see Tom Cruise like, who are you?
Yeah.
What did you
No,
do?
yeah, I agree.
You did Star Trek? Cool. Great. You did new Star Wars? Fantastic. Who are you? I'm Tom Cruise.
I agree.
I'm just going to do what I want.
I think that's probably part of it, is that no one, like Alex Kurtzman as director, probably wasn't like, Tom, I want you to do it this way. Tom's like, I'm going to do it this way. And,
like, like Bruce Willis with Kevin Smith. Like,
to be fair, he's kind of got a point. Because he was... The basic reason he was cast is for a name. Because the Mummy needed a name. Yeah, besides Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe, who you got? You don't really got anybody. And so he's kind of the face of the Dark Universe in its opening. And so...
And it's a sad face.
I mean, but you've got to have like a big name. And I think that's definitely why Tom Cruise was cast. Even though he doesn't make sense for the role, he doesn't play these characters. He's not very good at it. And I don't think it's just... because of him, but I just think it doesn't really mesh with who he is or what he does. He doesn't have that sense, that humorous sense, that timing. He doesn't have a good delivery for jokes. And that may be an acting flaw, but it's also just something that he hasn't been typecast in.
If this film was made 15 years earlier, or even better, 20 years earlier, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically an Independence Day style Jeff Goldblum character.
Yeah, like, huh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, just what? So, Jeff Goldblum is likable when he's going, like, just stammering about him. Huh? What?
No, I think that this...
Tom Cruise is, it almost comes across like I just saw, like, I haven't seen it, the new Tim Heidecker, Decker. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what, like... It seems like this is like the kind of thing that he's like making fun of.
Making fun of, yeah.
And like
action heroes,
like,
yeah.
Wife taken by tourists, terrorists.
Yeah.
That's like like this would have been great if it was Tim Heidecker.
Yeah.
Like going like, oh, what? I don't know. What's going on? I don't.
Yeah,
at least with that, he's doing it tongue in cheek, and
And I think even with Jeff Goldblum there, you would realize that it's kind of tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
it's kind of have a humor side. Whereas Tom Cruise, even though he's kind of, you're supposed to be getting this humorous aspect from him, he's always kind of delivering it in this stoic
and serious manner,
serious like Mission Impossible style manner, and it just doesn't come across right because The Mummy has potential in its storyline to be kind of another goofy sort of action horror take on this storyline.
And again, if that's the case, like they're kind of going for, you should have just got fucking Brendan Fraser again. Like, yo, Brendan, we'll throw you a bone, lose 30 pounds because he's hit hard times 2 on the scale, and bring him back. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, it doesn't have to have continuity with the last Mummy, but he would again. He was perfect as Rick O'Connell.
Yeah.
And, totally fit that role of, it's like before there's like, before it was Chris Pine and Chris Pratt and,
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser was that lovable, goofy, not as smarmy, because back in the late 90s you couldn't be as smarmy and get away with it. To come off as way too, pompous.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's, kind of like, ooh, that's, that's the thing. But he would fit, Brendan Fraser, again, like, it's like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. Like, they want to, like, have that Brendan Fraser style role, the character. They want to have that Chris Pine, Chris Pratt type of, I'm the modern day Kirk. I'm, modern day Captain,
Yeah, they do. Absolutely. That's what they're looking for, and Tom Cruise isn't the one to deliver it.
No.
It's not. It just wasn't a good casting decision. And it was only done basically for that billing.
And granted, I think those guys are Brendan Fraser maybe not so much, but I mean, even still, I don't think you have to, like, if you're kicking off a new series, you could have had like a new actor to kind of lead the way, and Russell Crowe as like a veteran who is going to be a staple in these films. That's where you want the veteran. Sure. You could have because again, what has Annabelle Weiss done? Wallace. And Sophia Boutella, like it's not like
they're pretty. Yeah, I mean, I know they're really promoting Sophia Boutella in this Dark Universe. She's been shown in the pictures as a recurring character within the Dark Universe, things like that.
I'm just saying, like they're not like well known,
right? Exactly.
So it would have been fine having your lead not be well known.
And just
this could have been something to catapult them into.
And Russell Crowe.
And again, if you're building a universe, you totally want it to be someone not well known. Lock them up for several movies on the cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it does well, then you've got
a new big star.
You're in the money, and you can worry about that contract movies down the line.
Yeah.
Now with Tom Cruise, by the end, it's like, we're not going to see him for quite a while, but God damn it, he probably is going to be back around with all the money they paid him and probably the certain amount of movies they're saying he's got to be in or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, you wasted money on, someone who's just riding off and, now like he's now fucking 4 horsemen of the apocalypse now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we should talk about the story itself, because I think that's another huge area where it just doesn't... First of all, it doesn't really have any relationship to the original Mummy. Like, if we're talking Universal horror classics, no relationship there. No relationship to
let's say the remake.
The remake in 1999.
Well, let's say the remake in 99 had a lot better connection because it's still set in, like, the 20s.
Yeah.
It's still like an archaeological dig and all that.
In this film, there's almost barely no mummy. I mean, when we're talking specifics here, in Amanat, she's not mummified. She was buried alive. It's not a mummy. It is, like you said, a zombie at that point, because she's technically not a mummy. She has all the staples of, like, what we consider an Egyptian mummy, but there was no, actual mummification process, no organ removal, shit like that.
Embalming. They just, they wrapped her up and threw her into a sarcophagus and... put mercury in there and then fucking shipped her off to Iraq to be, buried far, far away.
And then, like, we're talking about, too, she doesn't have, like, if you think of, like, a traditional mummy, she doesn't even have any of the regular qualities of a mummy, and none of her supernatural abilities scream, that's a mummy. It actually more seems like a vampire, because vampires are traditionally have the power over mind control, power over animals. In this case, we're talking like spiders and shit like that. And sucking the soul and life out of people. It's mostly just a vampire in any other form.
Well, as I say, that's part of the remake in '99. How
that does happen,
but it's certain people that he does that to, who released him.
Yes,
they're cursed, and that's how he regains his. Is from those people who, didn't heed the warning.
Here, none of the mummy's actual abilities. They don't. It's just kind of all thrown in there. It's like, she can do this, and she can do that. She has power over Tom Cruise's character, but she doesn't use it all the time. And sometimes he has the ability to make choices on his own. None of it is really solidified. It doesn't have...
And the best choice in the film he made is, oh, well, my friend and this doctor are arguing about this fucking mummy that's buried out all the way in Iraq instead of Egypt in a pool of mercury. I'm going to shoot this lever to release it.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. Bored. He's like, it's like, bored. He literally should have just had him, like, when they were arguing, just had Tom Cruise, just like, boring,
Yeah. It's basically it, because it's the same thing. He just shoots it kind of like side
yeah, he
shot,
wasn't saying, like, paying
not even like an aiming, and then kind of like shrugs, like,
Like, what are you doing? He's like,
huh?
What? You want to see what's in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we sometimes there's the intentional usage of protagonists as agents of destruction, as they call it, as in, like, everything that they do actually turns to shit. In this case, all of our protagonists are agents of destruction for all the stupidest reasons. If we're talking Russell Crowe's character Dr. Jekyll wants to stop evil, then why unearth it at all? He unearths the Knights Templar under England.
No, he doesn't.
They do, though.
No, the subway tunnel.
Yeah, it does,
Yeah,
but
and then Russell Crowe shows up like a badass when like you got a foreman like, "Oi, what you doing here? What you doing here?" And he's like, "I have this letter. I'm not gonna look at you. I'm too important. This is my seat now."
Yeah.
And then he has like his inner monologue, and
I
mean, I think the whole point is because they're trying to get the knife, this sacred knife that apparently can slay evil. I think it's not just the mummy; it's like evil in general it can slay. So that's an artifact because he himself is a collector of these type of antiquities. I think so he can track down said evil. But I mean, at the same time, no, you're right. Like,
leave it alone. That's the same reason why Annabelle Wallace's character Halsey was sent out to Iraq to unearth the mummy. Why even do it? Why do anything with it? Just leave it alone. No one's found it in
it's
3,000 years or whatever. Leave it alone. Just
should have like the Magi from the 99 mummies show up and be like must make fishy go pee pee like don't open doom.
Like you were saying, the only reason that we're actually over in Iraq, according to the mummy, is just to bomb shit out of the desert and find these ancient burial sites and evil.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure the military, on their busy schedule after doing such a thing, are like, look, we don't got time to fucking find this tomb, and shit. It's like, oh, you found a tomb? That's cool. We gotta go. We got other shit to do.
That's the thing within that scene, that it doesn't make sense with they're working with the military too, is that there's the call in, they found the tomb. Oh, no, we gotta go, guys. Oh, wait a second, we need to airlift the sarcophagus out. Oh, okay, let's spend 30 minutes bringing in a helicopter, rig it up on the lift, pull it out of the well, pull the guys out of the well because they rappelled down it.
Beat a sandstorm.
Yeah, beat a sandstorm and no baddies. You know what I mean? Like, they had all that time. It just doesn't make sense. The timeline doesn't.
But again, man, that goes back to the whole editing thing. It's just literally like action, bam, 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 and then when you get onto the plane, it's like the stupidest thing ever. Because we haven't, really talked about him a little bit, but Jake Johnson's character, I'm not even going to give him the dignity of calling him Chris. I'm just going to say, fucking Tom Cruise's buddy. Because he gets bitten by a camel spider in the well. Not poisonous. Yet somehow he gets sick and dies.
It's a magic curse.
Magic curse apparently. It's not explained. But then, he wakes up zombified and he's just, carrying a knife around. And he stabs the colonel and kills him. And everyone's like, wow, what are you doing? And then he tries, in the random fodder, they all pull out their guns to try to shoot him. And Tom Cruise is like, I'm going to go Jack Reacher and take your guns from you. Don't do that. And then, he comes up to, Tom Cruise and starts, Dawn of the Dead. And I'm not even talking about the Zack Snyder, fast zombie bullshit. Moving. He's like George Romero, Dawn of the Dead, swinging at Tom Cruise, and you're just like, whoa, what are you doing, buddy?
Which doesn't make sense anyway, because why would he be intentionally trying to kill Tom Cruise before anything? Because if his goal is to be cursed and lead him to the mummy.
Well, he is already cursed, so he's not going to die anyway.
True. But, I don't know why they would be trying to stab him. It doesn't make sense.
No, I know.
It's stupid.
But, like you said, the whole, all of that, it's just, literally, just, one action thing to the next action thing to the next action thing. Slight breather for, a little exposition, then, action, it's just, and it's just... Well... And it's not even, it's good action,
no.
And, engaging and enjoy... It's literally just, again, shit is just happening. It's, we got it, we got point A to point B, we gotta get there,
It's not good action, but it's action that happens all the time. So when there is an expositional break, it seems even more obnoxious. Because it's all delivered. Because Tom Cruise's character, like the audience, is sitting there just saying, huh? What? Why? What? Who? How?
Yeah. And Tom Cruise is the avatar for the audience. He's going huh? What?
Yeah.
And you know what they should have done? They should have taken, the Little John and, Nelly song, what? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is. He is an avatar for the audience. And, I would say a majority of his lines are just asking questions. Who, what happened, how, what. You'll hear it in our opening. And it's so funny because at one point he says, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly right. Tom Cruise, that was an improv.
I know.
line.
The camera was accidentally rolling on that. And
yeah.
Kurtzman's trying to give him direction. Like, Tom, just like, you know, like when you're like trying to tell like a pet, like a dog or something, like sit. And it's just like not sitting. And you can like tell, like, you know, like, come on, buddy, or, you know, do this, and it's not doing it. You can just tell by the look in the face of the dog. It's like, I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with this. It's like a cursor, like, Tom, just do this. He's like, what? He's like, come on, Tom, buddy, just do this. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah.
What do you want from me? Like,
it's exactly that. And it's so funny. And it happens in a scene that's really not supposed to be funny at all. And it just totally explains the whole thing of like hashtag Clueless Cruise, because he really seems like he has no idea what is happening. And to be honest, and to be fair, I think that's probably true of most people watching the film, because the finale is so overdrawn and poorly explained. And
Suicide Squad, like,
yeah.
It's literally like, it's the third act of Suicide Squad, except...
Yeah, it's a CGI fest for part of it.
No, but it's like an underground tomb.
Yeah.
The mummy in this...
Darkness.
You know...
The mummy's basically the enchantress.
Yeah.
It is. It's a lot like that. It seems like they were trying to mimic that sort of third act.
Why would you want?
Yeah, why? No one sets out and is
no
like,
one.
You know what Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad did in
Man of Steel.
Let's do that. No.
And that's one of the things I think most people have been like down about with Wonder Woman. Like, even the people who really like it,
yeah,
are like, you know,
yeah, the third act.
The fight with Ares is just kind of.
Because people are sick. Like, why can't we have the final acts taking place in, like, a field of dandelions?
Because you're in London, and it's rainy and cold and damp and bleh. Actually, I don't even know if they're in fucking London still at that point. Actually, I don't even remember where they are. For all I know, they could be in fucking Buenos Aires.
I don't know where they are either. I think it is in London, but I think it's in, like, that area where the plane crashed or some shit. But I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Because, like we said... It's all over the place. We're all over the world. Tom Cruise hopping out of planes, left and right, fucking getting it.
No, he didn't hop out.
He fell out.
He sat there and died. No, I will say that one of the great lines is he gives Annabelle Wallace a parachute to like get out of the plane, and he pulls the cord and she gets thrown out, and he just sits there and like the screen goes white because he's like, oh, he falls to his death. You know, there's no parachute for him. And later on, she's thanking him like, thank you for giving me the last parachute. It was very kind of you. I did not expect you to do something noble like that. And he just goes, I thought there was another. That was actually a really good line.
It is funny.
Because that's something like, again, like you're supposed to be like, this guy's an unlikable bastard, like, you know. And that's something.
I think that was written as him being noble during the situation too, like just saying that in terms of like this is how he's supposed to act. Like he's supposed to act very selfish, but he actually really meant it to be like saving her.
Yeah, I know, because he can't admit like
he's too manly and muscular to admit that.
Like I actually do like my feelings were really hurt when
his
you said
dick's too big to just say no. I was trying to save you, but even so, even if you view it like that, it's still pretty funny. Yeah, I agree. That was a good one. It's a good little joke there. All right, so I mean, do you think this is a good start to the Dark Universe, all things considered? Even if the Mummy itself, like the plot line of the Mummy, isn't a good film, is there a Dark Universe building and growing in this film?
No. I think this film gets out of the gate and it's already dead. It's like this film is so bad. If I was like a producer, an exec at Universal,
taking the binders of scripts for like Bride of Frankenstein and stuff, and just be like, well, throw them on the pit, start it on fire,
sell it off to Miramax or New Line for like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, seriously.
No. Look, there's just so much wrong. again, Tom Cruise is one of the biggest problems in this because he's not right for the role.
Right.
Because, by the end, he becomes the god Set, the Egyptian god, who's basically the devil.
God of death. Whatever,
yeah,
however you want to see it.
And he's alive. And, Russell Crowe is posing the question at the end, like, we'll never, we won't know if he's going to work actually for good or evil, if that humanity and him still going to win out. It's always a constant fight against evil. Which makes sense for him to say that, because again, the whole Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. That's, I get what you're saying about that earlier.
That's the whole theme of the film, and I'm assuming the entirety of the Dark Universe.
But at the same time, so him and his buddy, who's now resurrected, but I'm sure he's he's probably still part alive, part dead,
Mm-hmm.
They just ride off to do more, hunting of antiquities.
Is that what you'd really do if you were immortal? Basically an Egyptian god. Let's go get some more money.
No, he can really enjoy it.
He can have fun adventures
because he's immortal now.
They don't need to worry about.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that's where his buddy's probably still, half dead.
Yeah.
So he can,
He can also enjoy it, and it doesn't matter.
He may not have powers, but at least he's not, gonna have to worry about if he gets shot in the ass. He's, fucked or something. But no, I mean, it just so it ends with this ooh, when will Tom Cruise be back? We don't know. And it's, obviously, if they do somehow manage to salvage this franchise, when they get to the Justice League type movie, he's going to be back, and he's not going to be the villain. They're going to have some kind of different villain, but he's going to be the wild card.
Yeah.
What,
will he help out?
Yeah,
Will he be on the bad side?
Or is he, just going to be an agent sitting on the sidelines?
I honestly don't see them with Tom Cruise. I don't see them going for a bad side with him. He's going to be on the good side. When does he ever really play a villain?
Or he'd be a middle agent who's I'm going to watch and play both sides type of thing. But at the same time, I have no interest in it. Because I have no interest in the idea of making fucking Dr. Jekyll be Nick Fury running S.H.I.E.L.D. Instead of hunting down super mutants and interdimensional beings. It's, ancient evils of yesteryear.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think
especially seeing as the only other agent that we get to know is Annabelle Wallis's character, Jenny, which, by the way, every time Tom Cruise in this film is yelling Jenny, all I can think of is Tom Hanks for Jenny. Because he's like, Jenny!
Yeah.
Jenny! So it's
yeah, I think that's a problem, too, is that even in standalone films within the Marvel and DC, at least there's a little bit of connection there. A semblance of connection to something else. And in The Mummy, there's really no connection besides Russell Crowe's character to any sort of other character within the universe. We do see a couple of scenes where there are some throwbacks to other Universal monsters. There's a vampire, and a vampire skull in a glass jar. And I don't know if that's supposed to signify Dracula's already happened and we're going to be getting a origin story for that.
That would be stupid though if they
if they went back in time to do a Dracula that.
No, if they just he's already dead or something.
I mean, I could see them doing I mean, it would be stupid because then why?
Because again, that's one of the big classic
big characters. So
so if
you don't want to already have him be dead.
So if you just have him as as a throw
vanquished already.
I mean, granted, Dracula could always come back.
True.
But at the same time,
or there could be he could have passed it on, and you got a new Dracula or something like that. I could see, but
even still, I mean, I still think that would be I think the ideal, especially now with it being set in present day, I think it'd be cooler of having Bram Stoker's Dracula, but then explain how has he been able to survive?
Yeah, change with the times.
Yeah,
I think that there's not enough of that though. There's not enough. Even Easter eggs
and hints
to show here's a whole universe. Really, The Mummy seems standalone. Besides the whole Russell Crowe Dr. Jekyll thing
and the ending,
there's not much to say. This is going to be a franchise.
Except that logo.
Yeah, and the logo. There's nothing there, and I think that's you want to set that up in this first film. Especially when it sucks this bad. You want to have something that sets up something for the audience to look forward to, and there's just not anything. Like, even they knew already going into this, Bride of Frankenstein will be the next film. There's nothing there for Bride of Frankenstein. There's nothing to indicate, like, look, that's coming next. There's not even, they didn't even take a Marvel cue and do like a post-credit scene. Nothing. And so it just seems like these are standalone films and they kind of have a universe connected to them. And if that's the case, I'm really not interested. At least with a universe, you kind of have that, I don't know, the fun of picking out the Easter eggs and seeing how they all connect together, and, you know, having all the horror characters in one universe is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, part of the fun of, like, seeing Doctor Strange is, you know, we got Doctor Strange's origin story and all of that, and by the end, you get the end credit scene that's linking it to the next, you know.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's all building to, you know,
something else.
Infinity War, so.
Yeah. And I just don't think that happens in The Mummy, and it's really pivotal that Bride of Frankenstein does something like that. Because then what's the point if it doesn't?
I know.
It's totally dead on arrival.
Like, as I say, because then how is it going to connect to, like, Invisible Man? Which, by the way, they have Johnny Depp on board.
They do. Yeah, they have Johnny Depp for
So when the
Invisible
fuck's that coming out? Because by the time that comes out...
2021.
So he's going to be like 70 years old.
Yeah. Well, it's okay, because he's invisible, so you don't need to see... You just got to have Johnny Depp's voice like...
He's literally going to be Keith Richards, you know.
Yeah.
That's probably why they keep doing those damn Pirates movies.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, the whole release schedule is not... If you were going to mimic anything that Marvel and DC have been doing, you mimic the release schedule.
But at the same time, you did have a good point. Like, there's not enough in the Universal horror film canon for you to be pumping out 3 films a year. Because then you're going to bleed through it pretty damn quick. Comic books, they have, 60, 70 fucking years of continuity and several universes and whatnot to kind of pick and choose and comb over. But I mean,
you have the Abbott and Costello films that you could do. No, and I think that's a part of it, is that you just don't have enough to get multiple years out of it. But if you're doing it for the right reasons, and the right reasons being you want a fucking good legacy franchise, then you don't care that will
make money off because it's a
you don't care that you're going to blow through it in 7 years with all the franchises. You just make a good series of films, and you're okay with it. If it makes a lot of money for 7 years, awesome. And if it did really well, great. But now you're running the risk of, not only did The Mummy tank, you got like almost 2 years to wait for Bride of Frankenstein, so any excitement's going to die off. Bride of Frankenstein hits. If that doesn't do well, now you're out. You're done. So you just wasted 4 years probably getting 2 films out that both tanked.
And then probably, 6 years, because then, I'm sure, 2 years of planning The Mummy and...
True, yeah.
But I mean, and if you think about it, I agree with, like, I would do, like, probably try to push this out as, like, quick as possible. Not in, like, a... Roger Corman type.
Not cranking.
But because I'm starting to think, because as we talked about before when we did like Wonder Woman and Doctor Strange, like, I don't know about others, but I can almost see, like, sometime soon, fatigue is going to hit these things really hard. I can't see, like, even though Marvel is still doing great, eventually I think people are just going to, because again, it's like, happens to all franchises. Even like when like things were going good, like happened with Bond several times. Like franchise fatigue.
I mean, any slasher. Look at any slasher franchise. Eventually, it peters out. People stop caring about it. Not sometimes because the films just started getting progressively worse. Sometimes just because people stopped having interest in it.
Both.
Things change.
Yeah, well, because again, like, do you really want to see every year like a new Halloween or a new? No, it's like like by the 7th and 8th, you're gonna be like, all right. And I can totally see that, happening pretty soon with, like, comic book films.
Especially
because again, as I said last time when we talked about Wonder Woman, the Marvel Universe is over 10 years old now.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of franchise. Hell, I think even if, like, with, like, the things that they're doing with Star Wars, I don't like the fact now that Disney's doing a film a year. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't need to fucking see Rogue One. Rogue One was a waste of my time. It's like, ooh, we have the dark, gritty story that, connects, a little bit before A New Hope. And it's like, after watching, it's like, that was a waste of my fucking time. That was, like, just as bad as the prequels.
Yeah, I think that you're going to see a similar fatigue, especially when you get through most of the major characters. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to see a really insignificant character comic. Like, that's not very popular on the big screen.
Well, just think about it. Like, did Ant-Man, like, do...
I mean, it did pretty well.
But, I mean, did it do anywhere near, like...
enough to warrant a sequel. But, I think that when we start talking about lesser characters, at a certain point, Ant-Man probably was... I think people enjoyed it because it was fun, and Paul Rudd's in it. And who doesn't love Paul Rudd in a movie?
Well, I mean, I think that's a part of the saving grace.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, that's like the same thing with Black Panther. I have nothing against Black Panther, but I can see, like, let's... see how that does. Same thing with DC when the Aquaman movie comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Aquaman, not really one to just, be... I gotta see Aquaman.
Yeah.
It's just not something that you would think is like a popular draw. So it'll be interesting to see, like, when we get to secondary characters and characters that really just don't, like, have a lot of staying power. Will there be a tapering off of people caring about these sorts of franchises that just seem to be just going on and on and on?
Because I can't see them doing this for, like, another 15 years. 10,
And I mean, I think that's what we're getting at with the Dark Universe in this film. I think they're coming in at the tail end of the popularity. Or perhaps maybe even
the
middle. And I think that, for one thing, if the Dark Universe just doesn't seem very good. It's not on par with Marvel. And it may be... I mean, DC hasn't had a great track record either. But at least Wonder Woman was... like a shining star in the rest of their drab and dreary lineage. So I think, but at the same time, I think that the Dark Universe is really in that same stage of, like, not starting out on the right foot right away. And that's a problem. And I think that they're going to have a really difficult time getting off the ground, especially 2 years later with Bride of Frankenstein. Especially when The Mummy's going to be forgotten, like, in 2 weeks. I mean, it's like already...
And for those who are interested, they're going to be like, oh god, this is going to be,
Yeah. I mean, we'll definitely see it. Bride of Frankenstein, we'll be there. I gotta see it. I gotta see what happens. But I don't think that there's going to be a huge popularity for that film. Anything else you want to add about The Mummy before we get into, like, a rating?
No.
I can't think of anything else. I think we covered, like, everything because we kind of hopped around, and it's just not a good movie. It's just really not.
It has earned its Rotten Tomatoes score. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I know that there's definitely going to be some people who enjoy it just for it's kind of the same appeal as
it's not
Underworld and Resident Evil, of just, like, action-ifying
shit that doesn't need to be.
Yeah, basically. I mean, there are people that eat Resident Evil films up.
Well, I know that.
Not one of them.
Oh, I know, because there's, like, 8 of them now. So.
Yeah, and they're doing a reboot already.
Was it with Mila?
I don't know. But I think, like, it's got the same appeal, so there will be people who kind of enjoy it.
I wouldn't even say this film is so bad it's got, good.
No,
it's not.
It's not. It's just not even bad. So what would your rating be? Out of 10 camel spiders, what would your rating be?
I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10.
That low? You don't normally go that low. I don't know if you've ever scored anything at that low.
It's a 3 out of 10.
No elaboration, just
I
think we've already done.
I think I've ranted enough about how.
I guess I would give it a 4.5 out of 10. I'm going a little high because I did enjoy some of the horror aspects of it, and I think that given a different direction, this could have been a better film than it is. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt there. But it doesn't really do very much right at all. As we listed, 3 positives and 70 negatives. So I think that is really indicative of the Dark Universe as a whole. It doesn't really have a great direction around it. if you were to ask me what direction it's taking, I have no idea. At least with DC and Marvel, you kind of have a sense of where they're going. You know,
who's directing Bride of Frankenstein?
Directing Bride of Frankenstein is that's a good question. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't remember. Bill Condon. Bill Condon's directing it. Javier Bardem is going to be starring in it. There's not really much other.
Well, that's a plus because Javier Bardem.
Right, Javier, and actually, Bill Condon has done some pretty good things. First of all, he's knowledgeable about franchises. He did Twilight Saga. Not that I'm saying that those are great movies, but at least there's like that sense of, you know, he knows how to work in a franchise. He did Beauty and the Beast, which is the latest Disney live action film. Actually pretty well received. Dreamgirls was a pretty well received film. He has some reference points in horror, Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh, although that's nothing to write home about. It's not really
It's not Candyman.
Yeah, right, exactly. Not really a promising. But I think that Bill Condon himself is promising, and Javier Bardem signed on to it is pretty promising. You know, though I don't know how well, you know, how much he knows about the screenplay. You know, who knows? But I think that time will tell. And we'll have to wait till 2019 to find out, which is kind of a long time to wait. So yeah, Mummy, I give a 4.5. Think that may even be a little high. It may be being a little generous, but I'm a generous person. So, all right. So, what are we doing next week? Do we have anything planned for next week?
No, we don't.
We don't have anything planned. I really don't know. I don't have anything right now. Nothing is jumping out to me. So we'll take requests. Write to us. We have an email address. It's bloodandblackrumpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you'd like to see covered for the next episode. And you can also hit us up on Twitter. We're at bloodandblackrum. So you can tweet us there as well. Let us know what you want to see. Or hear, relatively. And we'll try to make it happen. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, and pretty much any other podcast app that you might use. I think I just added us to a new one today, like at podcastdirectory.com or something like that. So anywhere that you find podcasts, we're on it. And if you can, please leave us a review and subscribe to us. It always helps us out. We are also on Facebook. Facebook.com/bloodandblackrumpodcast. It doesn't get updated as much as I'd like to, just because Facebook kind of sucks and I don't think we get great reach or anything with it. So, but you can like us on there. And we have a Patreon page. It's patreon.com/bloodandblackrumpodcast. I just added a new perk to it. So for $10 a month, you do get a official Blood and Black Rum Podcast mug. It's kind of cool. It's got our logo on it, and it's got a red handle with a red fill on the inside. So it's pretty cool. I like it. I want one for myself.
Perfect for drinking your black rum.
That's right. Black rum, coffee, maybe coffee and black rum if you are really hating work or something while you're listening to us. It'd be perfect. Perfect combo. So check it out. Hopefully, you can help us out by pledging any sort of donation to us, because we put it right back into the podcast. We do hope to get another mic for Martin, so he maybe one that even like comes down so he can move it around and stuff like that.
Jostle it
come down from the wall. So we do hope to do that at some point. We also hope to do bonus episodes if we get enough people on the Patreon that are interested in that. So check it out. Other than that, we'll be back next week with a new episode, like always. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.